welcome back to The Project. It's been a few weeks since the LA fires. A lot has happened since then. Trump's in office and he's getting a lot done. So what does that mean for California? And what is Gavin Newsom doing to make things better for us Californians? Well, let's start. Gavin Newsom and California Democrats reach $50 million deal to Trump-proof the state. What does that mean? So that was already happening before Trump came in office. They were preparing themselves for that. So now during these fires, what do? They still went ahead and had that meeting, not caring about, what's going on in California, what's burning down. They could have used that money. They put $25 million aside for immigrants and to defend them and to give them lawyers, and $25 million to go after Trump. That could have been put on the back burner, and they could have just gave that money to a lot of these people in these fires. Help them with something, right? But no, why would they do that? So that's that, right? So right here, Sacramento, California. California Democrats have reached a $50 million agreement to shore up state and local legal defenses against the incoming Trump administration just a week ahead of the president's elect inauguration. Half of the money would go to the fending off mass deportation plan the new president might enact early in his administration. The move, the first of its kind in the nation, that positions California to lead second-term resistance against Donald Trump, comes as Republicans bash state Democrat leaders for focusing on a highly partisan issue, even as the southern part of the state suffers from historical devastation fire. So I can keep going on and reading about this, but they made their bed, right? Now they got to lay it. The deportations have started, and he was going to protect all these people. Now, some of these deportations started before the inauguration. That was the other administration, the Joe Biden administration. That was them. And I didn't see them defending anybody or stopping it and using that $25 million to give them lawyers and to help them. I haven't seen or heard anything about it. If you have, let me know and make sure it's factual. So let's do a recap.
We're dealing with a myriad of issues. I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators.
Like, he's been doing this a lot lately, and all his videos
and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks. We're dealing with a myriad of issues.
What do we got next?
Lady that cut the funding. The lady that cut the funding from the fucking fire hydrants.
Karen Bass.
Yeah.
Fuck her.
Yeah. Fire her.
They have no water.
They actually have no water?
I actually asked him, this guy right here. I said, how do you have no water? He said, we have no water.
Oh my God.
We have nothing.
That's so fucked up, man.
Due to her gross mismanagement, urgently call for the immediate recall of Mayor Karen Bass due to her gross mismanagement and failure to effectively respond to the devastating 2020 fires. In the wake of these catastrophic fires, our city has been left in crisis. Water supplies have been severely strained. Billions of taxpayer dollars have been misallocated or left unaccounted for, and countless lives have been lost. Families have been displaced, homes destroyed, livelihoods shattered, yet Mayor Bass has been absent from the front lines, choosing to travel abroad while her constituents suffer. Despite the
a lot of people were devastated and pissed. Wouldn't you be? There are so many clips and videos and of just people just losing their mind, and I would too. What can you do, right? But point the finger to who's in charge.
They got to go.
They got to go. You know what? They got to go. I don't give a damn if they do. After what I've seen last week, they got to go. They got. I'm done. I'm done, Kevin. I'm done.
Steve, sometimes there are natural disasters you can't do a damn thing about. When a hurricane hits your house down in Florida, what can you do? Are you yelling at the politicians to stand out there and stop the winds?
Kev, I'm not going off about the fires. The fires is not their fault. But when firefighters are standing there and saying there's not enough water in the fire hydrant.
That's true.
When Donald Trump asked for water to be pumped from Canada into the LA system and Gavin Newsom opposed that. When you're hearing about environmentalists compelling him to protect smelt and little fish and salmon at the expense of LA citizens, of California citizens, Kevin, I don't need much else than that. I just don't. Maybe you're nicer than me. Maybe I'm too cruel. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Now, he voted Democrat. He voted for Kamala Harris. And let me tell you, the way he feels of how he voted and the way things are going now, he is changing the page. He's tired of the Democrats. He's tired of their rhetoric and their fake promises. And there's a video out there, that's content for another video, but there's a video out there of him just saying, I'm done. Like, I have supported and the Democrats and their false promises. Trump has been in office, 1 week yesterday? And a lot of the promises he said he was going to make, he's doing it. He's doing it right now as we speak. He's showing the people. And even if it gets stopped, he's still doing it. Like if he does some executive order and the judge blocks it, he still did it. He still said what he was going to do. And a lot of these Democrats, they just false promises. Oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And nothing. It's just little by little, in the last 4 years, it's all come out on who they really are. I was a Democrat my whole life. I was a full-blown Democrat, and I argued with everybody, and you don't know what you're talking about, and boy, was I wrong. There was so much I didn't know. But that's what happens, when you're not properly guided. And not to say that the people who I believed in and made me see what being a Democrat is, that they're wrong. We were all misguided. The Democratic Party used to be, about change, about fighting for what's right. And now, I'm sorry, it's like the devil's loose. Like they fight for the wrong things and they don't help the right people. It's horrible. The alphabet mafia, right? They're defending them all the time for any little thing. They don't even make up 1% of a population. But yet, they want to force their agenda onto us. And not everybody from the alphabet mafia is like that. I know a lot of gay people that they're cool, man. They're respectful and they don't believe in that ideology. But our government, the Democrats, they want to push for women playing, men playing in women's sports. And you guys know the deal. And people are sick of it. And a lot of people that were Democrats, including myself, were like, this is not what I signed up for, man. Like, what is this? This is new. And I know that Democrats are about change, but that's not that kind of change. It goes beyond what we know. And what their agenda is, you can sit here and I know what their agenda is. I know what this is. And in reality, we don't. Other than they're enriching themselves and helping their billionaire friends. But they say the same thing about the Republicans. So I can be wrong. Here's another clip, right? This was about Mayor Bass. Mayor Bass.
Do you regret cutting the fire department? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today?
How do you respond?
Elon Musk says that you're
right?
utterly
How do you
incompetent.
not respond?
Are you considering your position?
She's just sitting there like a dummy, It's like, what kind of half-ass backwards shit is this? You have to say something, even if you have to lie. Like, we're working on it right now. I don't have time to talk to you. All we know is that we're working on it and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. You could say something like that. But no, you'd rather stay quiet. Why? For legal reasons? That makes no sense. It really doesn't. You're better off saying something than nothing. Not all the time you have to be quiet. Here's another clip. This is all a recap.
I don't know. But as the day progressed, I don't know. But as the day progressed, that devastation turned to anger. Buckle up because I'm not playing in this video. I present the mayor of the Pacific Palisades, just back from her trip to Ghana.
Do you owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? And do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster?
But wait, stay with me, there's so much more. Pay attention to the timestamps in this video because I'm not playing. 4:40 p.m. yesterday, January 7th, Biden cancels his event due to evacuation orders. This went fast and furiously, and all of us have been on top of it. Images, videos, sharing, praying, talking about it, all through the night. Last night at 9:49 p.m., Maria Shriver and many other people were posting asking for firefighters to please call a number. They needed more people. Pacific Palisades are running out of water. The National Guard hasn't been mobilized. Where's Newsom? Where is Biden? This is 2:59 a.m. Time is ticking. Where is our government? Today at 4:30 p.m., President Biden approves major disaster declaration for California. Nearly 24 hours after this started, and we all saw it going like literal wildfire. It was fast and furious. 24 hours to do that when every single thing is burning down. But wait, it gets so much better. And this is what Biden said at the press conference today. Quote, they got notifications yesterday that their homes probably burned to the ground, but the good news is I'm a great grandfather as of today. That's what he announced at the press conference. But wait, it gets so much better. Tell me again how it doesn't matter who your elected officials are. Go.
So,
Madam Mayor.
I'll wait.
Does that make sense to you? Hey, at least he's a grandpa. Oh my God, man. Luckily, we don't have that administration no more. It's all said and done. All said and done. Now, here is a clip of Mayor Bassett and what she represents. Stay with me.
Many with a group known as the Venceremos Brigade, a Marxist group started by the Castro regime to subvert American interests, weaken democracies, and spread communism around the world. Founded in 1969, the Venceremos Brigade organized trips to Cuba every year for half a century. They attracted the most radicalized and delusional segments of the American left, including overtly Maoist and pro-Soviet communist groups. In fact, a Los Angeles police investigator who infiltrated the group testified to Congress saying that to be a member of the brigade, you had to be confirmed as a Marxist-Leninist, as a brigadista, and then moving up the ranks to organizer for the Venceremos Brigade. Karen Bass visited Cuba every 6 months. Their mission? To radicalize young, impressionable American leftists in terrorist tactics and guerrilla warfare. Members of the Venceremos Brigade were even taught how to make bombs.
Jesus Christ!
Karen Bass admits, on her many pilgrimages to Cuba, she went to see Fidel Castro speak several times, even calling him charismatic, and upon his death, praised him, saying, "The passing of Commandant en Jefe is a great loss to the people of Cuba," even though the people of Cuba see him as a dictator who impoverished their island. Another group, the M19, took its belief in revolutionary anti-imperialism to extremes, violent extremes. The M19 was the first and only women-created and women-led domestic terrorist group. Since their founding in 1978, M19's tactics escalated from robbing armored trucks and abetting prison breaks to building their own explosives and carrying out terrorist bombings. From 1983 to 1984, M19 bombed an FBI office, the Israel Aircraft Industries building, the South African consulate in New York, DC's Fort McNair, and Navy Yard, which they bombed twice. But that wasn't enough for them. On the night of November 7, 1983, the M19 called the US Capitol switchboard and warned them to evacuate the building. Minutes later, the M19 bombed the north wing of the US Capitol. November 7, 2023 marks 40 years since the M19's bombing of the US Capitol. Members of the M19, like Susan Rosenberg, traveled to Cuba with and were radicalized by the Venceremos Brigade. The South Los Angeles Venceremos Brigade was led by Karen Bass, who is now mayor of Los Angeles.
Wow. I mean, what do you say to that? See, there's a lot of things we don't know about a lot of these officials that we put in office. You know, they have a great smile. Gavin Newsom, Mr. Slick and Sly. You know, he's the white P. Diddy. You know, we don't know. It's when things start happening, that's when we start, you know, looking into them. And sometimes you're not going to find much. People do their homework. And right now, obviously, she's a nasty one. What do you think you'll find when you dig into Gavin Newsom, other than the things we know now? A lot of this stuff's going to come out. Mark my words, at 2025, you're going to see a lot of that. All these officials, government officials, Republicans and Democrats, more Democrats than Republicans, a lot of things are going to come to light. A lot of it. I mean, now, these were patients. I don't know if it was an old folks home or a hospital. They had to be drug out. They had to come out. They had to be, it was so bad. I didn't see too much about this. I didn't see the mainstream media covering this at all, to be honest with you. Not saying they didn't, but I barely seen anything. They were too busy asking about what do you think Trump, what do you think of Trump's comments and all that, you know, all that kind of rhetoric. Meanwhile, there's people in old folks' homes that have to be outside.
And then Altadena Drive, where there's a McDonald's.
And they're not getting the proper care because of these fires.
Right in the
this got really bad.
That this senior center would have an evacuation plan in place to get these people out.
So now, it's been a few weeks. So what have we learned? We can't put our fate in government. The first clip I played of Gavin Newsom is a little, you know, a little dance move. He's talking about how he talked to the mayor or the governor of Hawaii. Excuse me. He got, you know, people ready to buy, you know, and they're gonna, you know, LA 2.0 and all these things he's been saying through all these videos. And I mean, isn't that kind of annoying? You're talking, right? You're talking. You're trying to get your point across. You know, across. I don't know how to. You know, I don't. He's talking about gang signs and. I don't get it, but where's he going with this? A lot of people are saying it's planned. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around that a land grab, that this was done on purpose to buy people's land for cheap, or that P. Diddy had something to do with it, you know, to erase evidence. Like, there's just so many conspiracy theories. At the end of the day, we're not going to know if it's true or not. All we know is that actions speak louder than words. And this fire actually showed how competent these people are. That's all I have for the project, for today's project. Follow me, hit that like button, and give me a comment. Till the next one.